Welcome back. You're watching India Tonight with me, Sumita, Kareer. And over the weekend, the BJP and Congress were sparring over Prime Minister Modi's controversial Mangalsutra comment. Priyanka Gandhi then responded saying that her mother's Mangalsutra was sacrificed for the whole country, while Congress's legal hawks approached the Election Commission. And now, Sam Pitroda's comment over wealth tax in the United States has given fresh ammunition to the BJP, which is accusing the Congress party of a plot to redistribute the country's wealth. Congress has denied the charge, has in fact even issued a clarification. Pitroda, on the other hand, has also issued a clarification. But we ask, is this even possible to redistribute wealth? Has it ever been done globally? And if yes, then what was the outcome? Is it a feasible idea? And last but not the least, are financial fault lines of the country shaping the poll narrative this time? Well, we'll go to all of those questions, and our guests will be joining in later. But first, let's take a look at some reactions that are coming in.
America, there is an inheritance tax. So if, let's say, one has $100 million worth of wealth, and when he dies, he can only transfer probably 45% to his children. 55% is grabbed by government. Now, that's an interesting law. It says, you in your generation made wealth. You are leaving now, you must leave your wealth for public. Not all of it, half of it. Which to me sounds fair. In India, you don't have that. If somebody is worth 10 billion and he dies, his children get 10 billion. Public get nothing. So these are the kind of issues people will have to debate, discuss. I don't know what the conclusion would be at the end of the day. But when we talk about redistributing wealth, we are talking about new policies, new programs that are in the interest of the people and not in the interest of super rich only.
अब कांग्रेस का कहना है कि वो इनहेरिटेंस टैक्स लगाएगी, माता पिता से मिलने वाली विरासत पर भी टैक्स लगाएगी। आप जो अपनी मेहनत से संपत्ति जुटाते हैं, वो आपके बच्चों को नहीं मिलेगी, बल्कि कांग्रेस सरकार का पंजा उसे भी आपसे छीन लेगा। यानी कांग्रेस का मंत्र है कांग्रेस की लूट। कांग्रेस का मंत्र है कांग्रेस की लूट, जिंदगी के साथ भी और जिंदगी के बाद भी।
There is a constitution, and constitution never allows to do this, and we are not we don't have any intention. Why you are putting his ideas in our mouth? Why you are propagating? He is just for votes. He is playing all this game. You take it from me. And you should also realize.
पहले पढ़ ले मैनिफेस्टो कि जो मैनिफेस्टो में नहीं है उसके बारे में वो इधर-उधर सारी बातें कर रहे हैं, कम से कम पढ़ तो ले, है ना?
It's not in the manifesto, my dear boy. What Sam Pitroda has said is not in the manifesto. Please understand, we are a democratic party. Everyone has a right to their personal opinions. Everyone knows I have personal opinions. But once the document is approved by the working committee, that's all the party is standing behind. So the party is saying, this is our document, read it. Nowhere does it talk about wealth redistribution. Nowhere does it talk about taking away anybody's gold and snatching the Mangalsutra.
All right, so the Congress party leaders really dismissing Sam Pitroda's comment. And to discuss this further, I'm now joined by Swaminathan Aiyar, consulting editor, ET Now, and Kapil Madan, advocate. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining us this evening on ET Now. Swami sir, I'll come to you first. Always a pleasure to have you, and thanks very much for taking the time out. What do you make of this inheritance tax, and is it executable? Is it a sound economic idea?
No, I don't know that this is necessarily an issue about an inheritance tax. There has been talk, as far as I can see, about a wealth tax, about making, taking a look around and doing a survey. All I can say is that the Congress party has been a socialist party since 1947. The Constitution itself has a thing about distributing the common resources to benefit the common good. The Congress party has always been for taxation of the rich to help the Dalits, the poorer minorities. The only thing is the Congress has always done it in terms of class, rich versus poor. Modi is trying to convert it into a religion issue of Hindus versus Muslims. Now, while the Congress party might surely like to do a review of the amount of wealth owned by the friends of Mr. Modi, the industrialist friends of Mr. Modi, it is most certainly not going to be snatching the Mangalsutra of every Hindu to give to Muslims. That has never been on its agenda. And, this is a twist being given. But the Congress is a socialist party. However, in the past, it has instituted a wealth tax. So little was being collected that Mr. Jaitley in 2016 replaced it by a 2% income tax surcharge, which is probably collecting much more money than the wealth tax ever did. So yes, the Congress party is for taxing the rich, but so is Mr. Modi. Income tax rates have gone up under Mr. Modi. They have not gone down. I would say, therefore, there is common ground that it is necessary to tax the rich in order to benefit the poorer sections, and the poorer sections includes everybody, SC, ST, OBC, Muslims, Christians, anybody.
So you say that the Congress obviously is batting for a socialist idea, the fact that income inequality should be minimized. But let me also quote Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who said just on the day the manifesto released that we will take up the historic assignment to distribute the wealth of India, jobs to the other sections of society, and that really has faced a lot of backlash against the Congress party and Mr. Gandhi as well.
I would say people don't give Mr. Gandhi a
Sorry,
chance
sir.
in hell winning the election. So there's no question it's coming to power and enacting all kinds of strong socialist measures. This is seen as one more promise. All I would say is that this is a party which under Indira Gandhi had raised income tax to 97.75, wealth tax to 3.5%. When it didn't work, they brought it down very substantially. So while they have fiddled around with these ideas, they were in power from 2004 till 2014. That gives you a very clear idea of what the kind of tax policy is. Yes, they always said that we will tax the rich in order to help the weaker sections. They always said it, but is there any reason to believe it will be much more stringent than in those 10 years? I see no reason.
Right. Okay, so you see that it's always sort of been done. Taxing the rich is something that, even the Modi government is also doing. At this point, let me come to you, Kapil, and thanks very much for patiently waiting it out. I want to understand the legality of this idea, considering the tax implications involved, because then it would be doubling the taxation impact, right?
So, let me clarify here. If you look at, the statement made by Mr. Pitroda, all he was referring to is that in United States, there exists a tax which is called inheritance tax. If you inherit a property, that will be taxed. And not only the United States, in fact, there are other countries also like Japan, like UK, France, South Korea, which have this kind of a tax. But to say that, and starting an entire debate and, giving this a color that this is a part of the Congress manifesto, I think this is more of a rumor mongering exercise and nothing else, because I carefully looked at the Congress manifesto and you cannot read anything even remotely that suggests that the Congress intends to bring this inheritance tax. And in fact, as you rightly pointed out, in fact, Congress has also clarified that they don't intend to bring this kind of a tax. And in fact, Mr. Pitroda has also given a statement on his Twitter account wherein he's clarified that, the Congress does not intend to bring any inheritance tax. And having said that, I will also like to tell your viewers one interesting statistics. It has been the policy of every government. I mean, there's a system, there's a concept called reasonable classification, which is based on an intelligible differentia, wherein you take more taxes from the rich and you pass on the benefits to the poor. This has been the policies, and in fact, the incumbent government talks very proudly of the fact that they are giving 80 crores citizens free ration. But let me give you a very interesting figure. If you see the revenue tax collection in terms of percentage of GDP as a corporate tax, that has surprisingly come down in the recent years. Last annual years, it was about 3.3. Now it was 2.8. However, if you see the tax collection as an income tax percentage of GDP, it has gone up from 2.3 to 2.9. So it shows what? It shows that the companies who are making big profits, despite that, the collection from the companies is actually lower, and the collection from individuals is more. So in fact, the entire, if you look at the manifesto in its real context, what it tries to signify is that they will bring a system wherein this inequality of income is reduced. A person who has means should be paying appropriate tax, and the person who does not have requisite resources,
Right.
he should get benefit from the schemes and the policies of the government. It doesn't mean that someone comes to you to your home and say, like the Prime Minister was trying to suggest, you please give your Mangalsutra and we'll give it to someone who needs it. I mean, this can't be.
I get your point. I get your point, Kapil. So you're basically trying to say that that of course both parties are trying to sort of stoke communal tensions, communal divide. Swami sir, are both BJP and Congress then only trying to consolidate their vote banks? And will this debate then really swing voters?
I would say that this will not be taken too seriously. It is very, very well known that the BJP has been a Muslim basher, has accused the Congress of appeasing Muslims, constantly trying to say that, these guys are minority appeasers. They want to give everything away to Muslims, to infiltrators, to people with more children. I mean, this is an old theme. So at this particular point of time, a socialist idea of redistributing from rich to poor is being given a Hindu versus Muslim twist. I mean, this kind of misinterpretation, I regret to say, should not be taking place, although it does happen. I mean, when you see that the Election Commission is pulling up somebody for a mere remark about Hema Malini, I think it should take action on this. Is a much more serious defamation of what Manmohan Singh or the Congress manifesto intended to say.
Sir, but then when you say that this could be misinterpreted, is the problem then with the Congress and how it is choosing to then communicate? Because you have Sam Pitroda coming in, butting in and saying that there should be an inheritance tax. Congress party's Rahul Gandhi said that we want to sort of, do a survey of sorts and then want to divide income, taking from the rich to the poor. Then is it a problem of miscommunication? And then today you also had Jairam Ramesh actually say that even the Arun Jaitley actually praised inheritance taxes for sparring large endowments when they should only be focusing on the message that should go out from the Congress party loud and clear.
I think the Congress is very happy. I think the Congress is very happy to be seen as taxing the rich to help the poor, but it is not going to go overboard. It has always been the theme of the party. It is, after all, a socialist party. It has always said we are for the weaker sections. And it will obviously say that, in the current things, it has been saying there are various industrialist friends of the BJP who have made an enormous amount of undeserved wealth. They would certainly love to do an audit of those particular industrialists and say, can we find something and can we see whether that particular money is available to fund various redistribution schemes, whether it is in Awas Yojana or it's feeding or pension, increase in pensions. All of these things could be funded if you can go after them. So the theme of the Congress is that the BJP loves the suited booted people, and we are going to take the money out of the suited booted people and help the poor. So that, to some extent, right, I find a complete consistency in that.
Okay, so you're saying that you find complete consistency as far as the Congress messaging is concerned. Let me go across to you, Kapil. Now, help us understand. This is, I believe, has been executed in 6 out of 50 US states, and countries like France, Germany, and Greece have also executed this idea. But those are developed countries. Help us understand how has this idea really worked in those countries, and it was implemented in India as well. And why was it then scrapped? If you could give us an explanation of both of these questions and points.
In India, there existed a tax which was similar in nature called the estate tax. It was established during the Congress regime in 1985 when Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister. And the reason why it was scrapped was that, it was encouraging a lot of Benami transactions, and the cost of collection of, taxes was actually, huge in terms of actual collection of taxes. So the government was spending more in ensuring the infrastructure, etc. And therefore, keeping in mind that there was negligible amount of tax that was being collected, the fact that it was encouraging Benami transactions, and the fact that it has more negative impacts rather than, any positive, impacts. Because of all these reasons, these taxes, this, estate tax was abolished.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Kapil, for coming in, of course, giving us your perspective. Thanks very much, Swami, sir, for joining us on India Tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have tonight on India Tonight. You had both the gentlemen speak about inheritance tax and Congress's plan of redistributing wealth as a measure to, of course, abolish income inequality in the country. Swami, sir, of course, saying that both the parties are using it for political gains. And in fact, he also said that the Congress party has largely been known for its socialist principles and policies. And this is what the messaging is coming out, even though there's been a lot of back and forth. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.